Brian Daigle, your first taste of Frank Ball. Tell me how it tasted, Brian.
Very, very sweet. Very, very sweet. And lovely. Delighted with it.
Brian, where's the Thomas the Frank Engine t-shirt, man? What's going on?
I'm going to wear it every single day. Listen, mate, give it a rest.
I thought you were going to have 365 for each day of the year.
I mean, well, if you're going to send me 365, I'll wear it 365.
The stain must remain. What happened to that?
Yeah, mate, listen. Like I said, I'm going to wear it. The first game I think I have to wear it is the filth.
Okay.
Then when we
saving
beat
it for the filth.
And then we'll go from there. But look, I thought it was a 2-0 win. First goal from a set piece, something that we very rarely did. Set pieces in general, defensive and attacking, look coached, well drilled. And if we're going to get kudos seats in the club shop, how long till we get Thomas Frank tactic boards? In that shop? I loved seeing it. I was watching it, and not that it's a major thing, but how many times do you see a manager doing on the pitch halftime team talk, obviously clearly showing the tactic boards? A 2-0 win, mate, clean sheet. What's there not to like?
Yeah, and he seemed a lot more animated on the sidelines than we ever saw Ange last season, didn't he?
Well, he did. I mean, obviously he also had his hands crossed like this a lot of the time. It doesn't matter. What I do like...
It's because he's building on Ange Postecoglou's great work from last season.
There you go. He's standing on the shoulders. He's standing on the shoulders. What I will say is in the first half, a lot of the passing looked sideways or a little bit behind the player, whereas when the changes came in the second half, we looked a lot more expansive, a lot more progressive, and wanted to attack a bit more. But you could say that with Ange as well, wasn't it? The second half of every season, pre-season, we looked a lot brighter. As we've said before, it's all about getting fitness and getting Frank's patterns of playing, styles of playing, formations up and running, and that's what we did today.
Is there anything you noticed when it came to how we're going to approach games and how we set up and things like that you noticed that you want to discuss or impressed you or didn't impress you?
Well, first of all, let's say Kevin Danso. It's only Reading, but Kevin Danso is just such a comfortable defender. He just looks like we did very well in getting him. We did very well in getting him. And you can remember a lot of Spurs fans at the time were, oh my God, we're buying Wolves rejects or we're doing this. He's a top defender. I think we've got a real defender on our hand that just loves to defend. Porro was looking at both fullbacks. Destiny, as you were saying, Ben, grew into it, but they weren't just bombing forward non-stop. There was a lot. I think the shape, again, this is only Reading, it's the first game. They just looked a lot more shape and a lot more structure. Alfie did what he could do. That great pass to Solanke. I will say Solanke looked off it, didn't he? In the first half, Solanke looked off it, but the service again. Second half was night and day. First half was a lot more structure, and then the second half, they went for it, and second half, he's here, he's there, he's every fucking where, Vušković. He was, mate, absolutely everywhere. He looks like an NFL player, a boxer, and a rugby player that is going to be a great player for Tottenham Hotspur.
Don't forget NBA player as well.
Oh, mate, well, let's add it in. He's a unit. But I was very, very impressed with Kudus.
Yeah, just back on Vušković for a second. Where the hell did that finish come from?
Mate, how could... Well, we saw him scoring regularly Westerlo, didn't we? Yeah. So he's obviously got this. But also what I loved was with the set pieces, I said at the beginning, seeing us win the first ball at a set piece. It's a towering header for him. And Lancashire did well. I don't know how much Lancashire knew about it, but it was a really nice cushion header. And then to be up there and slot that away in the side netting like Harry Kane used to do, it was a wonderful finish for a centre-back.
On his weak foot. On his weak foot.
Assist by Kudus. Who look, how long have we been saying we wanted that exciting player that will take the ball on and just be so direct? Yeah. And that's what Kudus was when he got the ball. He was very direct. And again, we can keep saying it's only Reading. They got the minutes in, but it's something we've missed, haven't we?
Yeah, Brian, you seen enough with Vušković? He's part of the squad next season. Is that it? 45 minutes is enough for you, or you need to see a bit more?
Do you know what I mean? It is the first proper look we've had of him, and I was under my thought is I'd like if one of him or Phillips had to go, I was keep Phillips because Phillips has had the Championship loan and has done it for a couple of years there. But that's the kind of performance he's going to put in. Let's see him doing it at Luton, and like Ben said, can you imagine if it was against Arsenal or Newcastle? But it would be brilliant. But the great thing is they got some minutes in their legs. You could see in the first half what they were trying to do. The ideas were all right. Maybe just the first pass or first touch was a little bit underwhelming. But you could see that they're trying to do what Frank did. And we saw just back fours, didn't we? Maybe against Luton, he goes to a back five. Yeah. Or in other of these games. But it's not about playing absolutely mind-boggling, brilliant, free-flowing football non-stop. Reading, I will say as well, were quite physical, weren't they? They were, especially that tackle on Porro. So, listen, 2-0, set pieces night and day. New players on scene, or Kudus and Vušković, we could say, is like you said, a new player. First half wasn't the greatest, but a 2-0 win, we'd all have taken it.
Yeah, in terms of Mohamed Kudus, obviously the second player that we saw in the first time in the Spurs shirt. I mean, when you're comparing him to what Brennan Johnson showed in the first half, I mean, that's complete night and day, isn't it?
Yeah, it was complete night. Brennan didn't look right, did he? He was playing back on the right wing. He looked off the pace. His first touch was not the greatest. But Kudus came in. They're completely different players, aren't they? Yeah. They are completely different. Their skill set is completely different, which just shows he's got options. I think Brennan will be more central. But the thing you got to look forward to, Ben, as well and Sim, as this goes on, is that was just a mix and match. It's all going to start gearing towards that first team 11, isn't it? The further we go down. But yeah, it was night and day. And I will say with Sonny, yes, what was more alarming to me wasn't the performance. He's just come back. It wasn't the best performance, but he's just come back and everything. Sonny's body language did not look like Sonny's normal body language, did it? That read into it what you will. It could be a multiple of things, but normally you see a happy, smiley Sonny who's just happy to be on the pitch and playing. The body language was more telling to me than the performance, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Do you think there is something to read into that? Do you think he's off? I mean, what do you think?
I think more to the point, we've been heavily linked with left wingers, whether it's just paper talk and nonsense. They said they're going to have this conversation, aren't they, after the tour of career? And I'm like you, if he stays, I think he'll be more centrally, but I'm starting to think he may be leaving. And if he leaves, thank you, Sonny, for everything you've done. You're a legend. You got the trophy that all these Spurs players weren't able to do and left because of. You've given 10 wonderful years service. You'll always go down in folklore and legendary status of this football club. And whatever Sonny wants as his next move, I support.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Well, in terms of the goalkeeper situation, he started Kinski today.
Yep.
Brought on Vicario for the second half. How do you see that battle going?
Like George was saying, Kinski's passing, you can see it there. He's like a quarterback, isn't he? Just spinning those balls out. He didn't really have a save to make. Vicario looked shaky on the ball, but when he had to make that save at the end, he made a great save. So I think it's very, very. I think it's such a good move bringing in the ex-Liverpool goalkeeping coach. We know what Vicario needs to work on, i.e. distribution. Hopefully that'll work on, and then as we get into the start of the season, he'll have his back four that he's going to be working with. But one thing I will say, and a big plus for Vicario, he looked so much more convincing in set pieces today. He looked more assured, more confident. He was on those aspects, and the defence looked like they weren't shaky when a set piece was coming in. There was the very, very first one with Kinski in goal where he kind of flapped. And then we dealt with it. But when Vicario was in goal, we looked a lot more convincing set piece wise. So it's kind of like that. But the goalkeeper coach has got a lot of work to do with Vicario distribution wise and Kinski shot stopping wise.
Yeah.
So we've got the right goalkeeping coach in. If he can do it, if he's training Alisson and Kelleher, look how they performed the last few years for Liverpool, then we're in good hands there. Pun intended. Pun intended.
Absolutely. There was one notable absentee that we kind of don't have an explanation for, where we do with the others, is Richarlison.
Yeah.
You know, he's been training for quite a while now, not even in the squad. Do you think there's more about that?
We just never know with him, do we? Like I heard you talking when you came on the pre-match bump up. These Fluminense links aren't going away. Maybe he could be off to Brazil. But yesterday, Frank was saying that he like he's been saying with a lot of people, that he likes them. But I think as well, with this first half showing of Solanke, as much as I do like Solanke and think he will have a much better season, I think we've seen now that we do need another striker. We need to bring in a striker this summer as one of the key objectives to bring in. So yeah, it was a bit unexplained, wasn't it? It was unexplained, and obviously we've seen Morgan Gibbs-White play for Forest. Was it a goodbye clap? I don't know why people have gone mad that he started for them today. It's breaking news: player plays for club. Yeah. Kane did it for us and then went to Bayern Munich days later. I still think he comes. I'm never going to give up the hope that this man comes to us, and we'll see. But a notable absentee for us with Richarlison was Morgan Gibbs-White clapping goodbye. But we'll see. But I think that is getting back to Richarlison's absence and Solanke not looking at it, even though it's the first game. I think we keep talking about number 6, who I'm starting to think a striker might be more important.
Interesting. I mean, on Morgan Gibbs-White, you're saying you're not losing hope.
No.
And I agree with you. I'm there with you. At what point do you start losing hope? If he's on that plane to Portugal on Monday, what would your thoughts be then?
My thoughts will be, damn, I wish he was with us. I'm not giving up hope till 11 p.m. UK time, September the 1st. With this player, I can't give up hope. If he goes on, listen, how many players have gone on tours and then it happened? I know this fee's been triggered. I think it's the Forest owner digging him. Maybe this performance that we've had today, Frank Lange, Vinay and Levy will have words and say, right, we need to put up the money, we need to get this done. Let's just add the money. If he goes on tour, it's not the greatest look for us. I refuse to give up hope on this. I hope Spurs do everything to get Thomas Frank their man, and I still believe and still think by the end of this window, and hopefully by the end of tomorrow, I don't know why, I've just got a feeling. Actually, I shouldn't say that, Ben, because when I say to you my spider senses, it goes the opposite. Yeah.
So the spider senses aren't the most accurate.
Yeah, on certain. But what happens is normally the exact opposite happens. So yeah, I think he's getting on the plane. He's going, and then hopefully tomorrow we hear something. But yeah, I'm not giving hope. I think Frank gets his man. I think Spurs get him.
What did you think of your guy Devine today with his first 45, and compared to, he came off with Donnelly, and how, it could be potentially an audition between the two, who stays in the squad or who's more likely. What did you make of both their performances?
I've said all along, I think Alfie Devine needs a championship loan next season, and I stand by it. He came on, he did that wonderful ball for Solanke. He was always trying to get the ball forward, always trying to get on the ball. Some of his passing was a little bit off, but he got 45 minutes. Like I said, I think he needs a championship loan. Donnelly went to Leyton Orient, obviously League One, and just shone and played constant football. I can't see him getting constant football, especially when Gibbs-White is here. And then if we get a 6 or whatever, I can't see Alfie Devine getting regular minutes at Tottenham this season. I want him to hopefully get a new deal, go out on loan in the Championship, smash it, and then next season we evaluate. I think he definitely needs a loan. Jamie Donnelly looked bright. I think Jamie Donnelly is ahead of him. But also, I think Jamie Donnelly's more a 10, and I think Alfie's more an 8. So it's a completely different skill set. But yeah, I think Alfie, I'm happy with what Alfie did. I wish Solanke had put that in the net. But I do think Alfie needs a championship loan.
All right, big up. There you go. First taste of Frank Ball today, and off to a good win as well. So
damn right.
See you back here same time next week.
Look forward to it, boys. Everyone in the chat, have a great weekend, and you two boys and Vinny, have a wonderful Saturday.